Hi, everyone, and happy Friday. Welcome to this week's episode of Friday 15, which happens every Friday at 12 p.m. Central Time, where we answer your industry questions. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe and like our channel. So I just wanted to mention before we get started today that we will be hosting our second annual Host Week, the week of January 23rd to the 29th. So this is a really great opportunity for you to get to listen to all the different host agencies. We'll have suppliers on there talking about promotions and things that are going on with them. So it's a really great opportunity to get information into your hands for what's going on in the industry. So please make sure that you attend Host Week. We have some information on our events page on our website. So please make sure to keep checking back there for updated information. And we look forward to having everybody join us for that. So our question comes from Stephanie. Hi, new agent here. Bear with me. I recently read your 2020 hosted travel agent fee report. My mind wants to organize my fees into two categories: all-inclusive consultation and service fees, including hotel, air transportation fees. I think I would leave excursions out because these may vary so much by traveler and destination. Two, client would receive a discounted rate for purchasing these items as a package versus an a la carte menu below. An a la carte consultation fee or hotel or air or transportation or excursion, etc. I'd love your input, Stephanie. So Stephanie, timing really couldn't have been better on this. We have been getting a lot of questions recently about charging fees. And myself and my colleague, Mary Stein, we just returned from the Travel Leaders Edge conference in Orlando, where we did host two workshops there. And a big part of the conversation was actually whether or not to charge fees. So, what's interesting is we tend to find that the more experienced agent is more willing to charge fees, and that kind of the newer people coming into the industry are a little bit more hesitant, because they're building their business. So they're not sure how to go about charging fees, and they worry that their clients aren't going to book with them because they are charging a fee. But I think as we all know, with just about anything anymore, there are service fees on just about everything. So, charging fees is really a personal decision. So, would we recommend it? Absolutely. So what we found is that, travel advisors who charge service fees earn 46% more. And if they charge consultation fees, they're earning 40% more than those who don't charge fees. So, and what we're also seeing too, in the report that you're talking about, the 2020 travel agent fee report, we found that, basically COVID was a leading motivating factor for advisors to embrace charging fees, especially ones that have never done it before. And, we're seeing that 70% of them reported that the pandemic really impacted their decisions. So if they weren't doing it before, they are considering it now. And those that are charging fees are taking the opportunity to kind of review the fees and how they're going about charging fees and determining, are they the most current, should I change my fee structure? So this is really, really good timing on your part. So real quickly, before I get to your questions, I just kind of wanted to go over, how to, charging fees and what type of fees there are out there, so that for other advisors that also have a very similar question as you do, we can kind of address that for everybody. So, so here are some tips on charging fees and kind of the most common types of fees that, advisors do charge for. So, consider this: charging a fee is an additional source of income for you. So before COVID, in 2019, we saw that service and consultation fees as a source of income were up over 26%, which is really good. Um, so, when agents kind of look at what fees they're going to charge, the two most common charge fees are a service and a consultation fee. So service fees are usually pre-booking charges for such things as air ticketing or a segment of a trip like a car, rail, hotel, that type of thing. And typically the service fees are a flat fee. that are charged. So the service fee doesn't include a charge for researching or planning a trip. It's the charge of the logistics of booking the trip. So, and then consultation fees, unlike service fees, flat transactions, charging for booking a trip, consultation fees charge for your time spent researching and planning and booking the trip for the clients, as well as your time spent supporting the client during their travel. So a consultation fee, they're becoming more popular among leisure agents and for good reason. It does take a lot of time to plan and book your clients' trips. So, there's a flat fee, as I mentioned, which is the most popular fee for advisors to charge. There's also hourly fees. So, charging per hour you spend researching, planning, and booking the trip. And then, a lot of times there's also a per transaction fee. So usually if you're doing FITs, this is where you would consider piecing together different components of a itinerary, is that you might charge a per transaction. So it could be that you're putting a hotel and a car and air together. So you might charge a fee for each of the different items that you were putting together. And then also there is the per person fee, which really per person fees are great if you are booking groups. So that would be something else to consider. So, we have a really great article that I think would help anybody out that is looking at, should I charge fees? How do I go about doing that? So I'm going to put a link into the comments on our travel agent guide on charging fees. So when you get a chance, take a look at that. And then real quickly, I wanted to kind of take a look at, what are the most common fees charged by advisors? So to give you an example, we do a survey every single year and we kind of ask the questions, what are they charging fees for? And domestic air is about $25 per booking, and international air is about $50 per booking. And, those fees have not changed in probably about 6-7 years. So if you are charging domestic or international air, this would be a good opportunity to kind of take a look at what you're charging and, maybe look at, is $25 enough for domestic? Maybe upping it to $35. So just kind of looking at your fee model is always a good thing. And then, so air inclusive bookings on average, most advisors are charging about $125 per booking. And then for FIT and tour packages, they're usually charging about $250 per booking. And then, what's really interesting is cruises are $50 per booking. And, there's a lot of time spent in learning all the different cabin categories and the different cruise lines. So, maybe if you are charging for cruises, maybe looking at your fee on that as well, because, you put a lot of time and effort into booking that cruise package. So maybe just looking, starting at $50, but, maybe within a year you up it to maybe $75, just, kind of as something to consider as you go forward. So, another suggestion too is, if you have not charged fees or you're just kind of getting in the process of charging fees, is, if you're with a host agency or you're part of a large travel agency, check to see what kind of trainings they do offer, because a lot of them do offer training packages on how to go about charging fees. And this would be a really good opportunity to take advantage of what your host or your agency has to offer in regards to charging fees. And then also another thing to consider is your consortium, because a lot of consortiums have training courses as well on how to go about charging fees as well. And then I know that ASTA does have a course as well. So there's some great resources for you to kind of consider when and if you are looking at charging fees for, going forward. So, and then, I would also consider, so some host agencies might not allow you to charge fees. I think predominantly most of them do, but just make sure you do check with your host to see if that is a problem or not for you to be able to charge a fee. So what I'd like to do is I'm going to put some links in the comments for you on how travel agents make money in a blog on charging fees that I think kind of will really help you out. So, and just consider, your time is valuable. So if you're not charging fees, or you're just starting to do it, or you've been doing it and you want to kind of reevaluate your fee charging model, this is a really good time, because remember, your time is valuable, and what you do, the amount of research and effort you put in is important. So, just making sure that as you're going forward, that you are considering charging fees. So, Stephanie, so, you had asked, you kind of already have an idea, which is great, of what you want to charge, and that you're looking at charging both kind of a consultation and a service fee. So just so you know that on average, most advisors do charge about $150 per booking on air-inclusive vacations. So that might be a good place for you to start when you're considering with your package vacations, how much you do want to charge. And this would include, being that it is a package vacation, it's going to include almost all the components of the package, such as air, hotel, transportation. There might be some sightseeing included in that. So take that into consideration. I do like the fact that you are looking at offering a discounted rate for the entire package you were putting together. And I think that that also is going to help encourage your clients to bundle their package with you, as opposed to kind of doing one piece here, one piece there. They're going to go, oh, because you are going to offer a discounted rate to package the whole thing at one time, they're more likely to do it in that manner. So, and make sure that when you are looking at your fee model, kind of you have an idea up front of what you are going to charge for a la carte items. So, and try to make sure that's not too complicated for your clients. I mean, really having a very straightforward fee model for them, so they know up front, and there's no right or wrong way in charging fees. Everybody does it a little bit differently. And I would suggest, too, when you're going about this, is if you're part of a host agency or part of an agency overall, reach out to your peers. Ask them how they're charging fees. Get an idea who is, and then this is going to help you kind of model other fee charging processes that you want to put in place as well. And then, also reach out on our 7-day Facebook group too, and ask there who's charging fees, and, what they find works and what they find doesn't work. So usually I think kind of doing that upfront flat fee does work, but just make sure when you're doing the kind of a la carte items, I would just make it as simple as possible for your clients, so they know upfront exactly how much they're going to be charged for fees. So, but I do appreciate that, you did take the time to take a look at our 2020 travel agent fee report, and then also taking a look at our demographic report, because both of those are really great tools regarding fees and how to go about charging fees, and typically what most advisors are charging fees on. So I'm going to make sure that we put some links in the comments for everybody for both our 2020 travel agent fee report and our demographic report. And then also our 2021 reports will be coming out soon. So just make sure you're checking back on our site for the most updated fee report information for you as well. So I kind of hope that helps you out. And just, really the best thing at the end of the day is just make sure that you are networking with your host or your agency, speak to other advisors, finding out, do they charge fees and how they go about charging fees. This is going to kind of help you model your process. And then, certainly you can change your process as you go along, because you're going to realize what works and what doesn't work. So, I do appreciate the question. And if you need anything else, please feel to reach out to us. And, thank you everybody for joining us today. And don't forget that we will be back next Friday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, where we're going to answer your industry questions. And if you do have any questions, feel free to reach out to us at hostagencyreviews.com/Friday15. And then also don't forget to take a look at our events page for more information on Host Week for 2022. So thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye.